Sitting on James.
Jim.
Yeah.
James, you did not fail Gerald Loomer.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him.
Well, I kind of wish that I would have pushed a little bit harder at the beginning, but, I think we made headways because we brought awareness.
We did. His memory will live on and on.
Right.
I was just looking, like I told you, I have my free Gerald Loomer T-shirt in my that I bought at the fundraiser that my mom bought me.
I think God bless us with people like Joel Spitzer that came out to being willing to help, and the Loomer family is great. The Colin family is great.
Right.
I mean, he had the best support around.
And he was your best friend in prison.
Right.
And I mean, in a way, our families are amazing out here, but you spent the time with him in that prison system.
Right.
And you knew his heart of...
I knew how generous he was, how compassionate, he was. And we got in a big arguments. Then I'd go to him 5 minutes later, ask him what is he cooking for supper.
I know, that's what you and me do, don't we?
Yeah.
We get in huge fights, and then 5 seconds later we're cracking up. Because I'm right, because I win. You let me win.
And Gary could hold his own in there. He didn't back down from anybody, but he was always there to help someone else out as well.
And the pitiful thing is he could have gotten 4 years if he just pled out, and he refused to do it because he said he was innocent.
Right, and that, to me, that's the honor of that man.
Right.
Because he was not going to plead to something he did not do.
Right, and even when the pool board said, well, just go ahead, I've heard him do this before, say you're guilty and we'll just call it a day, 17 years later or whatever, and he says, no way, he lost a leg, he had cancer, he knew he was about to go die, and his family was dying for him, that's not a good choice of words, but to come home and take his last breath here with them. Right. And we honestly didn't think he was going to pass, did we?
No, and I thought he was just going to keep on living because he was a strong man. But his family was there to fight his battle, to try to get him released.
Now tell me again, before I'm not, like I said, I'm not facing that you're going to have triple bypass surgery tomorrow. What are they going to do to you? They're going to take your heart, they're going to crack your ribs?
Well, I don't know the details. I don't really want to get into that. I know they take veins, I think, out of my leg, and they have to fix my heart and I think a valve.
Are you going to call me as soon as you wake up? That's what I want to know.
I probably won't be able to call you the first day, maybe the second day.
Are you going to remember who I am?
How could I forget?
And that you're my president?
I hope so. You might demote me to another position.
No, I'm not going to. I'm going to freak out without you. What am I going to do without you?
Well, you got work to do. And we just were invited to Charletta's breakfast on the 21st again.
Are you going to be able to make it?
I hope so, but we'll see how things go. I never pass up a breakfast, and she puts on such a great meeting at her breakfasts.
Right, she does. And what about, now you said that you like that I said that the wind beneath my wings is my song to you.
The little wings.
Because it's many things, you're my hero, but I'm very outgoing, and I'm always taking pictures and running around like a kook, and you're willing to, let me be me and stand
That's
behind
what a
me.
support team is.
Right. But when we made that speech for the Upper Arlington Chief of Police's college class, remember how they wanted you to come up with me at the end because they need to know about the men's prison system, and I don't know that.
Right, and that I'm usually not nervous speaking, but when there's a chief police there, that was kind of new to me. But he's one of the nicest people, and it seems to me that he does have compassion for others. And I was not used to that. As we all know, there's good cops and some bad ones. And
right.
Unfortunately, the bad ones sometimes overweigh some of the good things that we see.
And he'd never done the prison component. That class was called Ethics of Police that you teach us, and he'd never done the prison component because he wasn't qualified, but he understands that rehabilitation and jobs and housing out here is the key to protecting society.
Right.
And it also saves money, like I'm telling you. It is so much less expensive, not that everyone should worry about money, they should worry about human beings, to rehabilitate people out here than it is in the prison system. $67,000 per year is what it costs to take care of an elderly
Right.
person in Ohio in
Right.
prison.
If possible, if we could do the treatment out here instead of incarceration. I know some crimes warrant incarceration,
Yes.
which is fine because we're not against prisons. We're against warehousing of men and women and the juveniles without programming for them to be eligible to go home.
Did I tell you a juvenile with an IQ of 1 the other day got sentenced here to the adult system for life plus 80 years?
See, that's wrong, especially when you have an IQ that low. You would think that maybe his thinking skills are not all there.
Or he
I'm
could
not
go
a
to Twin
psychologist,
Valley,
but
I mean-
yeah. Being sentenced to life without the possibility of parole when you're a juvenile is just ridiculous.
Plus 80 years.
Right,
I mean,
Right.
come on.
right,
Who does that?
right.
Okay, well, I love you. Here comes Paul. You're going to be okay, right? Because
Yep.
I can't go on without you.
Yep,
But you said either way that we go to God, right?
yes,
But we have a lot of good work to do, so you're not going to God.
right. And my church prayed this morning, and I have one of the best churches around, the United Methodist Church for all people,
Yep.
and that's for all people. They don't judge any of us who was incarcerated, and that's what a church should be doing.
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm glad to be sitting here on your lap.
Okay. Josh, I don't know her.
No, one more time. Tell me how much you love me.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, and Toby, what's his middle name?
Who?
Your dog, your cat, your therapeutic cat.
Toby Tyler Kronenberger.
Yeah, Toby,
Then,
try.
then there's Morris Kronenberger.
And it's going to take 6 months for you to recover, but only 2 days for you to get back to work with me, right?
Well, 2 days I'll be in ICU. Then I'll go down to a down room for about a week.
But you're coming back home, right?
Yeah, as long as I had a roommate, they said I could come back home.
Okay, so I love you, and I only live a few blocks away. And Facebook family, thank you for your prayers. Tomorrow at 5 a.m. you go to the hospital?
Yeah, I have to be there at 5. Then again, the surgery's from 7 to 12:30.
And the church, it's okay, so it's hours and hours. And then you're going to put me on the list so I can call those doctors and ask them and bug them.
Right, if not, you could call Laura if you can't get through to them.
Well, how come Laura has more precedence than me?
No, my brother will be in contact with her.
Oh, all right, fine. I'll appreciate that. Okay, I'll respect that. All right,
Right.
well, we love you, and I'm trying to think. I guess there's nothing else I have to say. Just I love you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If you're not good, if you don't get through this, I told you I'm jumping ship and going to a civilized country where they do not lock up human beings to make money and profit and see us as numbers. Out of order, America. We need to take down the privatized prison system. I told you, we're internationally suing for billions of dollars because money talks in America. Money gets you justice.
in Ohio.
We have 2 privatized prisons in Ohio. Out of order. Disgusting. And they keep saying the Republicans, it's their fault. And you and I are Republicans.
Right.
But we're old school, like Lincoln freed the slaves.
Yeah, and I don't believe it's just the Republicans.
I don't either.
Because other states some of them are run by Democrats, and
Yeah.
there's privatization too.
And there's
it's about
privatization.
saving the dollar bill instead of human lives.
Yeah, dollar bill over human lives. Unfreaking believable. But it's okay, because guess what? What happens in the dark's come into the light. The eternal life sentence is what these people... life is yet but a grain of sand compared to eternity, right, James?
Yes.
Right. So, anyways, we know that mass incarceration is going to be taken down in America, or we're all falling down. Thank you. Poverty, crime, violence, it causes it all in the streets, you taxpayer. Here comes the cat. Here's Toby. The kids on the south side gave James that cat. He told me he wanted a cat, and that very day the kids said they had a cat for Miss Amy. So there. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, can't get this off, James. I think.